It's like 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, let's just take all these shows and turn them into comedy.
And it's like, yes, we understand that, as you watch them when they get older, you watch it and you're like, wow, this was really bad. But it's what we watched. It's what we loved.
I can see that. I can see the attempt on Baywatch. I can see that. I like it. There was room for that.
Yes.
21 Jump Street was a huge hit and everything like that, but
it deviated a lot.
I mean, granted, yes. I mean, Peter DeLuise and Johnny Depp made surprise appearances in it and everything like that, and people felt like went bananas. But even still, like, it could have been called something else.
Yeah.
And they could have still made the appearances and people were like, oh, wow, that's cool because it's referenced. That could have been the Easter egg to 21 Jump Street as opposed to it being 21 Jump Street.
I know.
And everything like that. I don't know. I'm not really feeling this Knight Rider comedy thing. And again, it is falling into... I love Kevin Hart. I think she's hysterical.
But...
they're burning him out now.
Yes.
It's too much. It's burning him out. And now it seems like they're getting ready. They're trying to use... It seems like now... It's not... Again, this is not a thing on John Cena. It's not his fault. No. He has agents and there's people that look towards him. But it seems like now Hollywood is looking to create the next Dwayne Johnson as a big box office draw.
Thank you.
And John Cena, obviously, is the next feasible person to do that. He does have a widescreen appeal and everything like that.
Yeah, but they're
now they're already like, let's just throw him into everything. But the other thing too is like, what they're doing, what I feel, is they're not looking at the markets and the trends.
Yeah.
The Rock was huge during the Attitude Era. It was very risque. It was language. I mean, this is a guy, Rudy Poo, candy ass, and turned that sumbitch sideways and all that stuff. That's not exactly kid-friendly stuff.
No.
So for him to go out and do movies like Fast and the Furious and other action things mixed with some family movies, it's a good mix for him.
Yes.
And he's doing a show, Ballers. I mean, we just had Ballers on, and he's like, he's beating his meat to watching his girlfriend's booty.
Yeah.
And everything like that,
Yes.
But again,
right after Game of Thrones.
Right after Game of Thrones. But like his character, his persona, his gimmick was an extension of him and how he was in the ring, so it was acceptable. John Cena, granted, he's done some adult comedy movies and he's been hysterical in it, and the content has been mature. But when you're talking about trying to make this guy a mainstream guy and a high profile actor, you have to remember what his market and demographic is. His majority market and demographic is kids.
Yeah.
So you may not get as big as of a box office draw as you wanted, or you think you're going to get, because again, his market is children.
Well, because they're looking at it at face value. Mm-hmm. They're not looking at it in depth like you are.
Yeah.
They're looking at it in face value. Like, here's a really popular wrestling superstar that wants to pursue movies. Well, let's see. The last really popular wrestling superstar that pursued movies was The Rock. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
They're not looking at it anything beyond that.
Which is actually kind of stupid, because if you're in a business-minded set, you have to be looking at it the way I'm talking about it. It's like, you have to look at like, okay, what's his market? What's his field? Now, I'm not saying, do Race to Blair, to Race to Witch Mountain Part 2, whatever like that, but like, you got to be a little more smarter with the movies that you're putting them in.
You do, because again, since his main demographic is number 1 kids, 2nd women, and 3rd, some guys.
I mean,
it's more so a matter of, okay, so say you put him in, like he was looking at for Transformers. Okay, fine,
right.
Yeah, kids, awesome.
That's a good. It's a good lead-in because it's action and you can still get kids.
Yes. However, he got a shit ton of flack for being in the rom-com movies that he was in because his characters were not kid-friendly, and of course kids see that on the internet, and granted, yes, I get it, maybe they shouldn't see it, but that's not the point. You're taking a high-profile guy and you're putting him in these things, you gotta think about the demographic.
Exactly. I mean, for instance, like, with him, they granted better movies, but with him, they could do the same approach they did when they first put The Rock in movies. Again, they weren't great movies, but I see where they were going with the attempts. They had him in things like The Tooth Fairy and things like that were kind of family-friendly movies. Yeah. And little by little, they migrated him towards the action route and everything like that. That could be the route you do with John Cena. Okay, let's break him in, let him get his feet wet and everything like that, and get people into him, and then we start migrating him outwards. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it's risky. It's definitely risky. Anyway. Pressing forward with Tuesday news. The title for Game of Thrones was finally released on Tuesday, and everybody went ballistic with the title, of course, as The Dragon and the Wolf. Now, of course, for those of you who watch Game of Thrones, everybody's thinking, oh my god, it's something about Jon and Dany, Jon and Dany, Jon and Dany. However, your resident Game of Thrones lovers here, or whatever, tend to think a little bit deeper than that. The Dragon and the Wolf can mean, as we spoke about the other day, more than Jon and Dany.
Origin story.
Yes.
Flat out. It could be an origin story. We're not going to get too much in could-be's and would-be's. That's not what we're going to do.
No.
But...
listen to Game of Microphones for that.
Yes. But, yes, the title has been released... and it's going to be huge. How long is it?
This is the longest episode.
No shit.
The longest episode ever done of this series is going to come in 89 minutes.
That's what I needed. The number.
It's going to be 89 minutes. In addition to that, in terms of this past week's episode that had happened, again, there was a lot of leaks leading up to it. A lot was released. And apparently it did not hurt the numbers at all, where it actually turned out to be their number 2 highest rated episode of all time.
Number 2?
It was number 2.
What was number 1? The Red Wedding?
I think so. I don't know if it was Red, but it was number 2. It was number 2.
How is it number 2?
I didn't get to see what number 1 was.
No, I don't care what number 1 was at this point. How the fuck wasn't it number 1 at this rate?
Yeah, like, no, this was great. I mean, and I'm sure for anybody watching, there's maybe some smatterings of different opinions, and that's fine. We're not saying it's bad to watch spoilers. Everybody has their preferences and everything like that. That's a totally different thing.
Just don't be snarky about it.
And on top of that, it's like, people were complaining about the time jumping, and where they get the chains. To quote a couple people that actually said something smart, once they introduce dragons, just throw your hands up in the air, enjoy the fact that it's fantasy. Okay? I mean, we watch a ton of movies that, like, they do things that make no sense, but we enjoy it anyway, because it's a movie. Same thing. We're talking about a fantasy show.
We are sitting here questioning how the fuck some of these cars flipped over and did these massive tricks in the Fast and the Furious, are we? No!
Yeah, seriously.
Come on.
Come on now.
It's fiction.
Anyway.
I never went to a gas station.
We never went to a gas station. The bullets.
Oh, you're right.
The bullets that never run out.
But gas is important.
The stormtroopers that never hit anything. It's like, come on. You're gonna tell me 1,001 shots fired, nobody got hit but the bad guys? Come on. Jeez. Anyway. Nonetheless. Anyway. Moving forward. Wednesday news. One of the biggest gaming news of the day, the Injustice 2 Fighter Pack 2. The details were released in terms of the 3 fighters.
I'm so tired of hearing about this already because of Seth. I'm sorry. Our son just kept talking
Even though you were so amped about it, too.
I was amped about it, but oh my Christ. Him talking about it every single day up until the reveal and then continuously talking about it and wanting to know more about Hellboy, which is nice, is just like, okay, I'm over it.
Yeah. Well, as you just heard, Miss Foxy, the surprise character was Hellboy.
Yes!
Which is awesome inclusion.
Yeah. Right.
Really good inclusion. That was like an out of left field. And he was smattering. He was one of the names tossed around. Not as heavy as Spawn. Spawn was like the number 1 potential surprise character everybody talked about.
If anybody ever wants Spawn, it's going to happen in just a general Mortal Kombat game. It's not going to happen with a cross comic book franchise thing.
Something like that's going to happen when McFarlane's closer to having the movie released.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's a smart businessman. He's smart. He's like, if he does it now, okay, yay, we got Spawn, but then the fire's going to go cold because he's not even anywhere near ready to getting. They don't have crew set. They have nothing set to film this movie. I think the script is the only thing that's done.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything else, business-wise, is still being done. They're not even ready to go to film yet. So it would be an unwise move at this point. But yes, we got Hellboy.
Yeah.
Of course, we got Raiden. Nobody saw that one coming, because of the fucking silhouette. And we also got Black Manta. Oh, wow, we didn't see that one coming either.
I know.
It's like, Jesus Christ. It's kind of like everybody's like, who's going to be the next pack? I wonder who. Well, here's a clip.
That's a
The
good
little shadow. Probably the Atom. Just tossing that out there. Next one is, and then there's a female character. And then there's whatever the other character is.
Yep. Which is more than likely Azrael.
More than likely. It looks a lot like Azrael. It really does.
So I guess what Injustice is, it just plain out fighting game. It's no longer just DC. Because obviously Hellboy's not DC, but...
Yeah, but neither is Sub-Zero.
They tied it in a way where you played a story mode, and the way that when they finally get the thing, is being there's the infinite Earths. Somewhere along the line, something got fractured, and he got inserted into their world.
Yeah.
And then when they tried to send him back, like it opened the gateway to more villains and stuff like that. So Sub-Zero's story ends where he's like, I feel like this is my fault, so I'll stay here and stand by their side and defend this realm.
Yeah, it's not necessarily story mode. It's all basically just part of all the different Earths and Elseworlds that they have, which is a clever little way of tying it all together. Mm-hmm. But they're only as DLCs, like they're not actually in the freaking game.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And this, we also, in gaming news, we got our Week 2 WWE 2K roster reveal and everything like that. A lot of the same names, as I mentioned before. I'm only going to mention the new characters added for this game. Now, everybody's going to feel extremely happy about this one because 2K18 is going to get glorious with the premiere of Bobby Roode to the game.
This is where I just be rude. Haha, get it?
In addition, returning to the franchise after so long will be Maurice. Mm-hmm. As well as returning to the franchise, which excited everybody, will be Mickey James. Yeah. As well as the debut of Ember Moon.
Nice.
So, yeah, you're getting 2 new characters and 2 awesome returns. Couldn't take it no more, huh?
No.
Excuse
me. Sorry, guys.
But that is cool. I mean, come on, Maurice and Mickey James back in the franchise. That's awesome.
That is.
That's really freaking awesome. I think that's really, really good. Okay, and this week's comedic what the fuck.
Hi, Bowie.
Hey.
There is apparently
of course.
There's everything is geek now, and everything is geek chic. And when I say everything, I mean everything, including the world of sex toys.
Oh yeah.
There's apparently a website called geeksextoys.com, which has decided to jump in on the Game of Thrones wave taking over right now and make their money on that by making Game of Thrones sex toys, i.e. dildos. Yes, they're the blades are gray dildos and the hilts are the various known swords of Westeros, including Longclaw. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's again, it's not really a what the fuck. It's more, I had to include it because it's comedic, it's hilarious. It just shows
geeks got to get it on too.
There's a market for everything. Yeah.
Are there any made of dragon glass?
That would be funny. All they had was, again, it's just gray dildo penises with the hilts of the different swords. And they're all hand-painted. They're all hand-painted, and they're vacuum-sealed and sterilized and everything for your home fun use.
You know how they have those shows that we watch really, really late at night on Saturdays of how it's made?
Yeah.
There
is a video of them making it.
I want to see.
That's how I watched the video of them making Longclaw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was just about to say.
And for those of you that real quick, I'm sorry. For those of you that want to see the video on making Longclaw, it's on our news feed.
That's great. No, because what I was going to say is to those watching that remember, what I would love to see at this point is I want to see all of this being done on real sex. That's because that's the only way you were able to watch these things.
HBO just needs to pick up how it's made, but do the adult shit.
Yeah. Yes. Real Sex was a fucking great show, okay?
It really was.
Sometimes it was fucking hysterical. Other times you would just sit there in awe, like, huh.
The best late night television on HBO for Friday nights was Real Sex, followed up by Taxi Cab Confessions.
Yeah, Taxi Cab Confessions was good.
Because sometimes it got a little racy too. Like,
right?
Taxi Cab, it's like, oh, y'all don't care that the cab drivers are, do you?
Seriously. Hello, kitty.
And everything like that. So, for geeksextoys.com, we say...
No, they get something different.
Oh, you get something different? Okay. I don't get it, but okay.
Because it's like, woo!
Nah.
I get it.
Okay, so